With the second pick in the 2022 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Nalyssa Smith.
Indiana Fever was taken out of Nalyssa Smith's Instagram bio. That means something, right? The WNBA is getting tense, and Caitlin Clark's team doesn't look good. Let's break down what's really going on before you draw any conclusions. Smith sent out a mysterious tweet that made people talk. It's not all sunshine and rainbows when she thinks back on her third year. She's teasing about some problems in her own life.
She'll be at the foundation of what Indiana hopes is a quick rebuild.
Nalyssa Smith is a terrific one to help build around. 6'4", she brings pro skills to the game. A great rebounder who excels pursuing the basketball off the rim.
But she's also loving on her teammates. I've never seen such a mixed bag before. This is where things get interesting. What does this mean for the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark? Do you think Smith will leave? Is there something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about? This could change how the whole team works together. Fans of the WNBA are on the edge of their seats because a lot is at stake. Let's talk about what this might mean for the Fever and the league going forward. Don't miss this. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Do you remember when Nalyssa was the new star that energy? She quickly became an important part of the Indiana Fever team.
Nalyssa Smith, such an incredible career at Baylor, and she becomes the second pick of the 2022 WNBA draft.
And she and Caitlin Clark made a great team. Fans were excited because they thought they were seeing the start of a new basketball powerhouse. Things go wrong in life for opponents and higher expectations on the court. Not on the court? That's where things get interesting. Smith's mysterious tweet lets us see what's going on behind the scenes, and it's not all shine and gold. Smith dropped a bomb in her message. One could have never missed shots or lose a few games. There's more to it than that.
Her ability to get out and transition and finish, and that nice touch around the basket as well.
Yeah, I think she has the best face-up jump shot of any pure four in this draft. And she will run the floor and go hard on every possession. She is in pursuit of the basketball every moment that she's on the court. And I think there's still even room to go for Nalyssa Smith because she can extend that game out to the perimeter and be even more of a playmaker.
You have to wonder what's really going on in her life after hearing that. But now things really start to happen. Smith isn't going to back down from these problems. They are right in front of her, and she is ready to fight. I know I belong, and I know I'm good enough. You're not just sure of yourself. That's a battle cry. Smith is letting everyone know, maybe even herself, that she's not leaving. It gets even stranger than that. Smith's love for her team hasn't changed, even with all the problems. She told me, "The love I have for my teammates will forever be unmatched." There you have it, loyalty. It shows that no matter what's going on, it's not keeping her away from her squad. But let's not pretend for a second. Smith isn't acting like everything is fine. She told me, "I do have areas to improve on. Absolutely, I'll never be perfect." That shows a lot of self-awareness. Not only is she aware of her problems, she welcomes them as part of her journey. It's been a long journey. Smith's tweet lets us into her heart and shows us the battles she's been going through all season. No longer is it just about basketball. You can learn to grow, be strong, and find yourself when things get hard. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark, who is the big problem that nobody wants to talk about. Her effect on the WNBA has been nothing less than huge. About 2.5 million people watch games every week on average. That's crazy. But here's the big question. Does this attention help everyone on the team? Since Clark got here, the Indiana Fever has become the most popular ticket in town. They have the most fans in the league. Each home game gets an average of 17,350 people. Also, even when they're on the road, 15,000 people come to see them. That's a lot of star power. It's not just about butts and seats, though. Because of the Clark effect, stores are selling more than ever. This season, WNBA merchandise sales have gone through the roof, rising 450%. Fans can't get enough of those t-shirts and jerseys for the Fever. You might think that all this attention is good news. It's not really that easy. Clark's success is making the WNBA famous, but it may also be putting extra pressure on her teammates in ways they didn't expect. Imagine that you are Nalyssa Smith in your third year, and you are still trying to find your groove. Suddenly, you are playing next to a rookie who is breaking records all the time, like being in a band where everyone is yelling for the lead singer and all you can do is play the beat. Without a doubt, Stephen A. Smith brought this double-edged sword to our attention. It has elevated the league, but it has also made every other player stand out, he said. Now that there's a new superstar, everyone has to step up their game. The Clark effect is making people think hard about how teams work together. How can you celebrate a rising star while also making sure that everyone on the team feels like they are important? If one ingredient keeps growing while you're baking a cake, you have to change the recipe to keep everything in balance. With all of this extra attention, the WNBA is having to deal with some new problems. How do they get love to other people? How do they keep players like Nalyssa Smith from feeling like Clark is always there for them? The WNBA thought it had scored a big win, but then a new challenge came from somewhere they didn't expect. The league is shocked by Nalyssa Smith's most recent tweet. Are these the first signs that the WNBA's golden age is coming to an end? I can't say enough good things about Caitlin Clark's rise. She's gotten record-breaking numbers of viewers. Arenas full of people. Everyone looks at Clark. Some players feel like they're being left out in the cold. Nalyssa Smith's mysterious tweet isn't just about her own problems. On the verge of something big, it shows how a league is still getting used to things. It got to the heart of things when Smith said, "There were amazing things that should have been appreciated, but nevertheless, we not." Why is that? Because of the way society works, people do what they want as it grows. How do you make sure that every player feels valued while also recognizing a rising star? Here comes basketball legend Sheryl Swoopes, who is now a vocal critic. She doesn't hold back when she says that all the attention on Clark is taking away from other great players in the league. A lot of people disagreed with what's interesting. Stephen A. Smith jumped into the fight because he doesn't shy away from trouble. It's true that Clark's presence has elevated the league, but it's also made every other player look better. All of a sudden, excitement like never before. On the other hand, players like Nalyssa Smith are feeling the stress. What will happen to the league in the future if important players start to think about leaving? It's not enough to just make players happy. To keep up with this rapid growth, the WNBA has to work hard. When Clark isn't on the court, can they still get fans to come back? How do they give everyone a chance to show off their amazing skills? Now is the WNBA's big chance. They're at a crossroads where great opportunities and big problems lie ahead. What they do now could have a long-lasting effect on women's basketball in the years to come. All right, let's end this. No one can stop talking about Nalyssa Smith's mysterious tweet. She's having a rough time, but she's not giving up. Some people aren't keeping up with how quickly the WNBA is changing. A lot of people and a lot of money are coming to see Caitlin Clark, but it's putting pressure on the other players. The league needs to find a way to make everyone happy while they grow. The WNBA needs to make sure that all of its players, not just its star players, feel like they're important. It's not enough to just sell jerseys and tickets. It's about making a league where everyone can do well. What will happen next with Nalyssa and the WNBA? Time will tell. It's clear, though, that they need to find a way to help all of their players if they want to keep this wave going.